This video is designed to help you plan a 3-day, 2-night backpacking trip at Yosemite. We chose our particular route because it was featured as one of the top 5 backpacking trips in the national parks by Outside Magazine. Before we get started, let's go ahead and meet our crew.
Hi, my name is Ryan. I'm kind of like the leader of this trip. I kind of organized it, so it's kind of a family thing. My kids, they really look up to me. You know, they kind of think of me as their hero, kind of. It's kind of sweet.
What, he said that? His hero? My hero?
It's kind of a family trip with me and my 2 sons, but Scott, he kind of invited himself on this thing, and you know, we kind of felt bad for him, so we didn't say no. But to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure what he's doing here.
I don't think I would have come, honestly, unless I knew Scott was coming. I love Scott. Scott's one of the coolest guys I know. I'm glad he's here.
I'm so excited that Ryan has offered to take me on this trip with his sons and his family. I feel like part of the family. I'm a little bit worried. I don't know, that I can make it up there, but I'm sure Ryan, being the family guy he is, he's going to help me every step of the way.
Before we began the hike, we stopped at the Yosemite Wilderness Center to pick up our permit from the ranger. And we talked to the ranger. My dad came too, and he asked her like a lot of questions. Many of them were not necessary, but she explained everything, and we picked up the permit and then we began.
Okay guys, we're getting ready to start the hike. We're gonna start Upper Yosemite Falls. It's a staircase straight up to the top. What do you have to say, Tommy?
I'm prepared to make the summit.
Okay, John?
I'm ready to make the summit.
Scott?
I'm prepared to have Tommy or John take me to the summit.
Okay.
We started our hike at about 9 a.m. We spent the previous night at the backpackers campground, sleeping in our tents. When you get a permit for backcountry hiking, you're allowed to stay in the backpackers campground the night before you hike, as well as the night after you hike. We rented 2 bear bins for $5 a piece. They are heavy, 2.2 pounds each, but mandatory. There are no bear bags allowed in Yosemite. So on day 1, we started with the 3.5 mile ascent to Yosemite Falls, which proved to be rather challenging in the middle of July.
We're about a third of the way up, and I'm not in very good shape right now. It's really hot, and it's really steep. And I've been on a lot of these hikes with my dad. He has a tendency to kind of ruin them.
Hey, you guys look to say hi.
Hi.
Scott, say hi.
Are you filming?
Yeah, I'm filming.
Along the way, you will see some breathtaking views, and once you get to Yosemite Falls, you can go swimming, and that is what makes it absolutely worth it.
All right, guys, we just finished the hike up Yosemite Falls Trail. It's about 3.5 miles up. We'll get the elevation later, but with packs on, that was one of the most challenging hikes that I myself have ever done. Let's ask the crew here. John, what do you have to say about that hike?
That hike kicked my ass bad.
Kicked your ass bad.
Really tough, man. My legs are smoked.
We had to keep climbing past Yosemite Point to look for a good campsite, and we eventually found this awesome spot for our first night. We also enjoyed a nice fire. Yosemite allows campfires, but please be careful and make sure you put it out completely. There are designated fire rings throughout the backcountry.
Scott, I just want to say, and I know Tommy feels the same way, I really am happy that you're on this hike. I think yesterday, if you weren't here, I think we would have gotten lost. Someone else were at the front. And I think really you just make it such a pleasure to be out here, man. So thank you for coming.
Well, wow, John, I really appreciate that. I'm just really happy to be out here and sharing these experiences with you guys. I've got 3 daughters, and I never had a son, to play catch with or to take camping, to go to Boy Scouts. So I don't know. I just feel like you guys are like the sons I never had.
We awoke the next morning to a truly splendorous sunrise. The glorious rays of light covered the peaceful valley floor as me, Tommy, and Scott all watched in amazement. I don't know where my dad was.
Yeah, I think the tension is kind of building between me and Scott, because yesterday at the water he was just showing off for the kids. He's kind of getting on my nerves, to tell you the truth.
The day 2 hiking was significantly easier than day 1. It was mostly flat, a little bit up, but it was fair. It seemed very fair.
At one point, the trail splits, and part of it goes down to the North Dome, and part of it continues on. We decided to take our packs off and do a quick excursion out to North Dome to take in the views of the valley.
Alright, we just got to the top of the North Dome. Yesterday was a really tough day. My dad kept giving us the wrong directions, telling us to go to the place we shouldn't have gone. I really don't know. He thinks he's a lot more experienced than he is. Dad! Don't get too close to the edge, Dad! He doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks he's an expert. He keeps telling us where we should go on the map, telling us, oh, it's gonna be 3 miles. We end up hiking 8 miles. He really doesn't. Dad! Don't get. Dad!
Scott seemed to know what he was doing. I didn't really think there was anything I could do to help. I didn't feel the need to intervene. I think he had it.
The truth is, I didn't even need help. I don't know what everyone's talking about. Scott saved my life.
Look, I mean, Scott's a hero. Those are the facts, plain and simple. I mean, he saved my father's life today. If it was between Scott and my father, and it were me on the line, and I had to extend my hand to one of them, Scott's a hero. After North Dome, we got the packs on and kept hiking along the trail looking for a good spot for night 2 of camping. We found a great spot right along Snow Creek, allowing for more time in the water. Then we finally bedded down for night 2. We got the water for dinner boiling. We have the campfire. Father. Joe. Dinner. We got a little creek down there. And it's a nice campsite, yeah.
Tommy, you're sitting in my chair.
Yeah?
What's wrong with this one?
That's Scott's chair. I don't want to take his chair.
Why may I not go out to climb the tree? Trees have fingers that may steal the ice from thee. Why may I not go play out in the barn?
We woke up on day 3 shivering cold as the temperatures reached the mid-50s the night before.
All right, Tommy, what do you have to say about the morning today? How was the night?
I was shivering my timbers in my sleeping bag. It was cold.
We enjoyed some hot morning coffee, then departed our campsite for our final day of hiking. We left the valley rim and descended along the treacherous Snow Creek Trail. The Snow Creek Trail is generally regarded as the most difficult trail in the valley, with the grade even steeper than the Yosemite Falls Trail. Many people do our exact route in reverse order, starting with the Snow Creek Trail and ending with Yosemite Falls Trail. We do not recommend this, especially if you are taking your packs. This being said, the Snow Creek Trail offered some of the most amazing views of the entire hike.
Once we finished the descent down the mountain, it was pretty easy to find the shuttle and get ourselves back to the parking lot. Hey, Scott. John and I were wondering, you said you never had a game of catch because you didn't have any sons to play with. We were wondering if you wanted to have a game of catch with us.
Wow, guys. Hey, man, I really appreciate that. But it looks like your dad could really use a game of catch right now. Hey, Dad.
You want to have a game of catch?
I'd like that.